The Chronicles of John Slater, audiobook series, part 11. John sat back in his seat, looking into the faces of the 5 other men that made up his Alpha team. There were Felix and Chadwick, a medic and a techie, respectively. They would mostly be in the background, with Felix prepared to provide medical assistance if needed, and Chadwick being their extra eyes and ears through his gadgets and gizmos. But they were not to be taken lightly. Both were skilled, fighters, and could be deadly as soldiers. The other 4, himself included, were John's direct fighting squadron who went to battle with him, operating under his directives. Other than John and Hank, there was Keith, a relatively new member of the team, and the jolliest yet earnest of them all. He had that wet behind-the-ears air about him that came with being freshly recruited to the Army after serving as a cadet. John hoped he got to keep his sunny disposition. Too many men had lost their joy and vigor for life waning, leaving them jaded and emotionally crippled. And lastly, there was Michael, or Big Mike, as they all called him. John thought Hank was huge before he met, the man who redefined the word for him. Usually, with Hank in the vicinity, there was no man taller or more muscled around, but Mike seemed to suck the very air out of the space he entered with his presence. He stood at a staggering 7 feet and was built like a tank. Hank looked fairly average standing next to him, and John assumed the rest, despite being a decent 6 feet or so each, would look like pests or dwarves. John himself was a tall man at 6 feet 2 inches, but he didn't hold a candle to.